just want to start out this week by, getting a little something off my chest. Because in case you missed it, there's been some stupid shit happening. So, if you were one of the people advocating for something like, let's say, community service, or anything that ridiculous, you're the illegal immigrant that illegally obtained his CDL, in 2 different states, by the way, against their own laws, so that's more than we need to look into, because how many got them then? They couldn't read like any, but like 2 of the signs, failed the English part of it, and made an illegal U-turn in Florida and killed 3 people. Like, if you think he should just get community service or something, please do all of us with brains a favor and sit and spin and enjoy fucking yourself, because that's what you can go and do. You can go rapidly fuck yourself. Like, I'm just saying, if an illegal who was here illegally got a CDL in 2 states illegally, meaning he shouldn't have gotten them, who then killed 3 people in an illegal U-turn in Florida, I know I mentioned again, I'm reiterating, and you think you should only get community service or something just as fucking stupid, like fuck yourself running with a cactus sideways uphill both ways in a snowstorm, in a fucking hurricane, in a monsoon, repeatedly, and all 1.6 million of you or more since, I said this, who signed the petition to do all that as well, you can also do all of those things. You could be like Hitler in Little Nicky, before anyone freaks out, with the pineapples and all that, then the flask, and that could be you, repeatedly, for the rest of eternity. Here illegally, which means if he wasn't here at all and we just enforced our laws, we wouldn't have to worry about him getting licenses illegally from states that broke their own laws, giving it to him, and then 3 Americans dying. That right there you go. Goes on great circle to the last episode. That's it, in case I forgot anything. And we talk about, crimes, they only commit this much. Well, them being here is a crime. Them coming across if they got deported once is definitely a crime. Them staying here every day is a crime. Them doing that, a crime. If they weren't here illegally and had the proper paperwork and went through the channels and all that, and the states didn't give them it, these people would be alive. So, your argument can't win against any of that, so sit and spin on whatever rotary device you prefer. I gave a few examples earlier. You could probably have some nice ones of your own. Be creative, but if you think that they should just get community services on, fuck off to the umpteenth power and eat a shit sandwich, because you're an idiot sandwich. Now, on depressing things, we all heard what Gavin Newsom had to say. Now, 8 of the top 10 murder states are run by Republicans. Because, shocker, that dumb fucking useless cunt missed the rest of the important stats. I'm sorry if you don't like profanity. It's what I do. We should be used to it by now. But, of course, he came out and said that. And it's amazing how anyone, still has him on the running thing at all. For the Democrat side, for like 2028, because it's the only reason all these, press things and everything would be coming out like this. Like, it's the only reason why they do it. Like, he has to be the one that, he's trying to get them to, eye and pick for, 2028. And I already see a lot of people on that side advocating for it and everyone getting all pissy with one another if you don't think he should be the guy. Even though I, right here, am very comfortable and confident in saying that unless you're one of the crazy sides of the Democrat Party, like he, caters to, the rest of the country fucking hates him and sees everything that he said. Conservatives don't like him. Moderates on either side sure as fuck don't like him. I'm sure a lot of the people that were independents that voted for Trump hate him as well, because everything that he wants to do. Like, if that's the best option you got, Jesus Christ, someone needs to punch someone. I'm not going to finish it, YouTube will yell at me, but you get the drift. Like, if that's your best option. But he's running his mouth, Of course, Trump blaming it all on us. The top 10 states, Here we go, some fun facts. Just, it'll be a quicker episode, because I've been going long since I started doing the videos. I don't know why. It's just been happening. But starting with the cities in 2024, we can go with, all the top ones. I believe this list had 24 of them. Don't worry. The list, the site, all of it's cited in the show notes, so find it. At least, if you go on the audio version of it, it'll be in the show notes. I'm going to try to put it in the show notes on YouTube if it doesn't give me a fucking headache. But it did last time. Hopefully it doesn't this time. But if you find, Spotify, Apple, all of them, it should be in the show notes and you'll be able to look it up and see it all yourself. So you can see I'm not full of shit. But the Texas, we saw a mayor turn Republican in September of 2023. Lexington, Kentucky. Omaha was Republican in 2024. And that's, so, with that, that's 3 right there. That's the entire 10, 2024. The top 24, cities with the highest, homicide rates in the country. From a few different sites I've seen, the entire top 10 is Democrats, and 21 of the top 24 were cities run by Democrats. It's funny. Now you put some in Texas and stuff, you get red states, but you can have big pockets of blue in there, around Austin and stuff, because they do. These things can happen. Because those numbers don't lie. No matter what, the top 10 states, well, that's great. Look at all the cities, because those are the ones where, everything's happening no matter what. So he was running those. And there it is, And so far, let me add before we move on, that, like many things, somehow, my birthday has passed. By the time you listen to this, it might already be September, but we still don't have all the numbers, tabulated from 2024, which is fucking mind-boggling as, it's all connected in one big computer fucking system. At least, it could be very easily. I mean, like, everyone should have tracked, send it out to them. And they could be smart enough to have fucking, someone with a calculator do it. You can have Excel do it. There's all ways you could do it, but all the numbers aren't in and tabulated yet. And it's pretty much September. Let's just say it's September at this point. That's pretty fucking wicked when you think about it. But here's the list for the top 20, so far year-to-date reported. Again, at least this time I understand why all things aren't reported, because, the year isn't over. And the numbers can change, week to week, so it's hard for people to do it. But top 20 for 2025, all of them have Democrat mayors. Legitimate, all 20 of the top 20 have Democrat mayors. So take that, the top 10 states, well, top 20 cities are all run by Democrats. That's kind of convenient. As you can have a governor that's a Republican. It's, make it a red state. But you could still have parts of it where there's Democrats scattered throughout, making policy and everything. Cities, they're run by the mayor. The mayor makes the policy, and that explains the city. And the mayor gets, the council could do it. They could change things. Way easier than just a governor by himself if he doesn't have, the different chambers there to do it. I know Gavin knows that. I know he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't apparently think very highly of his constituents either, because he doesn't seem to think you motherfuckers or anyone out there understands it, but, that's how it works. And now when you look at it, the different story that Gavin is, than what he's telling us, Louisiana's the top of the list and run by a Republican, that's correct, but the worst spot in Louisiana, being Marksville, according to some lists, has a Democratic mayor. Over there I saw 1 Republican, independent, 4 Republicans, 5 Democrats. Top 5 places are all run by Democrats. Again, I'm sharing the link. Don't worry. You can look and see it your damn self. There's a few of them. You don't make this stuff up. Florida, a lot of the same. A lot of them all have the same. But you take up 20 of the top 20 for 2025, 21 of the 24 for the 2024, including the whole top 10. That says a different story than the top 10 states are all run by Republicans. Well, cities where people can very easily, they get the council, they can change laws and how they, count things and charge people and do they can do things. Ordinances, like, that's how that stuff works. That tells a real story to me. Maybe I'm just fucking stupid, but that's the story I get out of it. And it's funny how we forgot to tell you that. And a lot of, all of them do. They love their half things. And that's why, he's the big bleeding hole in the poster child for, half facts and just being a gaslighting pile of human excrement for the Democratic Party. And it looks like they want to go with him. I don't know why. Because, shout out in the comments what you think, but I don't think he's got a snowflake's chance. I think way too many people know who he is and do not like him and have seen what policies have done in California and what he's enacted. And his people, because so many Democrats, they're running the state, like, they see what's happened. I don't know how they think that's going to be a good thing, but, it's all policy. And it's easier, if you have a city that has Democrats running it, and the majority, so they can, change things how they like it to have, affect a state rather than, a governor and then he doesn't have both houses, because then you can't really change. You may think it's much easier to do it in the cities, but they don't mention the cities. Why? Because you look at the cities, and it tells you everything you need to know. And, that's why nothing changes. I mean, there's things that change for the good, but, the Democrats are going to keep just running themselves into the ground. And I don't understand how so many of the people still fall for them, because I know some of them. But it took me like 45 fucking seconds to look this stuff up. It's not that hard, and it's just propaganda, because they know dumb people won't look. That's the worst part about this age, the internet age, is that we have everything. One of these motherfuckers right here, that'd be a cell phone for those of you listening. You get whatever the hell you want. You see all the different sources, especially if you know how to fucking look. But you can still find this stuff. People share the stuff. Hell, you can go to the government website, a lot of them, when you look up stuff, and it'll pull it up for you so you can see their exact numbers or the bill that counteracts anything that most fucking idiots are saying. And the gaslighting and all that happens, but no one ever does it, and they just fall into it. Like, at least I know how to fucking read. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like my profanity, but I know how to read, and those are all real numbers. They're all going to be in the show notes, so you can look them up your goddamn self. I ain't got time for that stuff. Like, that stuff's ridiculous, and all the half-truths, and, it tells you where they are, though. It tells you what the Democrats learned since they got their ass handed to them. Since they've even, admitted they have no policy, they're just going against Trump. That's all they have. Trump. That's all they still got. They went all those years, they still haven't learned anything. They have no policy to oppose it. They're just opposing anything he does, no matter what the hell it is. And them wanting to have Gavin apparently as, the front runner to be their nominee shows that they have learned not a single fucking thing over the last couple of years. They've learned nothing. Numbers don't prove anything. Nothing. If they're going to pick Gavin Newsom, because I don't think he has a snowflake's chance. Please spout off in the comments what you think. But I don't think he's got a snowflake's chance in hell to win, because we sure as hell don't like him on the right. The middle doesn't like him. Independents that went for Trump aren't going to go for him. And, that doesn't help Democrats at all. At least, people kind of knew about Kamala before, she dropped out. No one gave a damn. And then suddenly we all know why she got picked as the VP nominee. But, everyone knows who Gavin is. His face is right there. California, the wildfires, that always happened. The French Laundry, all the money that went missing from the 8 concerts and everything, all the unaccounted for stuff, homelessness, the rail, the super speed rail, that, nothing's been done. There's so much stupid shit, and yet they think they're going to run him, and that's going to be a good idea. I don't think he could personally turn any of them. Anyone that doesn't like him, I don't see them doing anything to fix that. But fuck him if that's what they want to do. Better them than us. Especially my ass. But, like usual, though. And, made sure I had the list so at least I could give you the right numbers and didn't try to remember it all. But 20 of the top 20, 21 of the top 24, and another one. It doesn't matter what the state. Dude, it's run by these guys. They look at the cities that all the stuff's actually happening in. It's very, very, very often in a blue shithole. Just the way it is. Sorry, I don't make it up. And that's just the stuff that's reported. Because we see what stuff, they've made misdemeanors doesn't count anymore in some places. Which just makes it easier for criminals. But what the fuck do I know? I'm a dumbass, allegedly. But that's where I'm going to kick it. Again, all the links for everything will be in the show notes. So make sure to check it out on the audio platforms. I'm going to see if it goes into the YouTube and all that. We'll see. Fingers crossed it works. Check out 2146media.com for everything. Follow the socials. Check out One More Lap because its new episode is out. First one, and we'll be back. Love y'all. Peace.